course, we all know what happened a couple years ago. The panorama came, and it really changed the way I wanted to not only run my business, but grow my career, but also create connection with people. I could see that there was this really big gap in how we build community and how we create community and how we support community. And I work primarily with business owners, from makers and creators to service folks to people who are, really creating big impact in the world. I mean, I knew it before. I had been in incredible communities. We had created an incredible maker and artist community for our events. I could see it. But once we started to really experiment on the Gobrunch platform, I can't tell you enough how much I have really opened my mind and my ideas and my creativity to what's possible when we create communities. And I know if you've ever heard Richard talk about it, he is, the biggest proponent to connection and collaboration and co-creation. And what they've built here is an opportunity for do that. So I'm going to go through this topic. I'm going to show you a little bit how we've used the platform, but I'm going to leave lots of room at the end. Creating a community to help other business owners and give back to the community, facilitate meaningful networking, validation, idea bouncing. Serena says, I like bringing people who don't have a local spiritual community together. We get to be seen. Yeah, Serena and I have been talking a lot about using Gobrunch to create really powerful roots, really powerful home feeling, really powerful connections. How do we make people feel like they have a group of people around them that are like them, that are challenging to them, but also supportive? That's a great opportunity. Nat says, creating community, deeper connections, create a sense of acceptance and belonging. So we need to create rooms where people who are beginners to business can go in and ask questions and get the foundation set up before they try to do all of these growth and scale tactics. We're just setting up a business. We're just getting to know the language, right? We have to show up for our community. It might be a little bit more at the beginning once you get everybody in and kind of working and creating and finding their space. But part of it is you really have to invest. I sat in empty rooms we started in October. We had a whole bunch of people sign up, but they didn't know, this was a very new thing for them. So to get into the habit of coming into the rooms, it really didn't start hopping until probably January, which I know seems like a long time, but there's Christmas and stuff. We had a few people popping in, but then it started to grow, and now we have, some days I'm still by myself in the rooms, but then it comes in. Yesterday I was by myself for 2 hours. I was like, hello. And then all of a sudden we've got 17 people in, and so part of it is, knowing that do you need to have timed rooms so that everybody comes in? Are you okay sitting in an empty room by yourself? Part of it is knowing yourself, and part of it is knowing your community. So really investing that. We've built whole rooms that have, noise in it for folks who have ADHD, for, brown noise. We have a cat purring for 25 minutes. It's a Pomodoro clock. And that was a good feedback. That was an example of us listening to our community, and they go, what would be really great? We had a member whose cat would often come near the microphone, and we all just kind of got a bit of a dopamine hit. We're just like, ooh, that feels nice. And then someone was like, can we have a cat room? And I'm like, abso-frickin-lutely. 5 minutes later, we had a cat room with cat purring. And then at the end of the 25-minute Pomodoro goes meow, and then it encourages you to go get your butt scratched or, stretch your toe beans, and then you can play it again. But we do these things for a reason. One, member feedback. Two, we know that different people need different things. So if we offer these different styles or these different kinds of rooms, people are going to come back in. What are they doing with the community in their lives or careers? And when I say that, it's helping people realize that the time they spend here is not just about here. Okay, it's about things that they do in their life. When I feel supported in the Catalyst, I go out and I'm a different person in the world. Okay, when I show up in my community and somebody has shown me support, the next day, the next week, I'm walking a little bit different. Okay, because I know I have support somewhere. These are things that we can do, and we can help create ripples. The tiny ripples turn into big waves, right? So how can your community really give back to people out beyond the virtual walls that we're creating? How do you invite them to engage with them on their progress? How do you get feedback? How do you ask them what's going on? How do you ask them what would make it even better? One of the things that we have is we have this onboarding thing, but we're building out a whole like a reminder when they get their annual renewal 3 months before they're going to get, here's what you've done in the community, here's what you've created, here's what we've celebrated with you. We're building out a whole system to be able to track people's achievements, people's what they built with us. And we're going to remind them that, because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget our own achievements that we've done, and we want to be a part of recognizing people's achievements. So we're creating out a 3-month, when it comes up to their annual renewal, they're going to start getting these reminders of what they've created, these celebrations that we've done with them. And we're going to keep inviting them back in the room. We want them to renew again. We want them to stay with us, right? We're building a huge community here. You can go into different work rooms. You can still get access to support without necessarily being in the room with that one person at that time. And that has happened. People will move to different rooms. I'll show you a screenshot. We've got like 15, 20 rooms now because we're growing as a community. But the other thing is, like, it's being open and honest. Why don't you like that? Why don't you like what was said? Why don't you like that person? We're trying to encourage people to be really open and to be honest with themselves and honest with their community members. So here's an example where we had feedback of something and we created some accessibility. So this is our main room. It's kind of busy right now. We're going to redesign it a little bit. But here's what happened. We have people who want to be in the room, but they are listening to something. They're watching a video. They're maybe recording something for social media. They are reading, and they just cannot stand all of our talking, because we're talking about TV, or we're talking about something in somebody's business, and they just don't have an interest in it. We've created this maybe muted spot. So we have the power with Gobrunch to mute a room. This is a spot, an opportunity for people to go here. They're still with us, but they are letting us know that they've got the room sound off and that they can't respond. So it's really great. We're not sitting there talking to Tracy because Tracy's on a call, or just walked away or went to the bathroom or making lunch or whatever. We know that Tracy's not there, but Tracy's still with us. And Tracy might be working, a lot of times people are like going off mute, or, going on mute or whatever. They've just communicated that to us so that we know. But what we've done is we've given them a space to still be a part of the room, but not necessarily be listening to us or responding to anything that's happening in the room. So we created that. Some other things that we have in here that are direct responses. People are like, how do I get a hold of you if you're not in the room? Well, we've got a chat box in here. It's also a knowledge base. If people want to know how to book a one-to-one time with me or one of the experts, they can just type one-to-one in there and that link comes up. We have a calendar in there. So we do, these are the hours when I'm absolutely going to be in there. When we have other experts, it'll say co-writing, and we'll have launch, and we're just doing a course person is coming on board. So those will be in there. We're going to change this a little bit to be more of like a live calendar, but that's what we've got in here. So these are actual responses that we've had where people needed some accessibility or just slightly different availability and things that are in there. Other things that we built in here, we have the Pomodoro clock in the middle. People can choose their own Pomodoro clock time. And then, of course, we have a prompt to go into our forum. So I said we're not using Heartbeat anymore, but we still have a forum. That's a prompt that goes right in there. When they click on that, they go straight into the forum. So this was the other day. We were in a room and I looked and I saw, oh my gosh, people are in different rooms. Part of this too is creating rooms where people can go. People still feel like they're a part of the catalyst. They're part of the community when they're in another room in here. And that's one of the great things that Gobrunch has built in here, is that this capacity for us to be a part of in a space. We're like in the house, but we might be in different rooms. So, look at that, what that means for you and your community, how you can build a series of rooms, a community, a culture, a connection point within these rooms. So it's really great to be able to connect with our fellow Gobrunchers and community builders and community creators, to be able to, share what's working and what's not working. We're learning this as we go.
Yes, and we are planning a lot of new events that are gonna, of course, invite you guys. But yeah, make sure that you check out. And Marissa, thank you very much again, right? Because
yeah,
you're making way more history than you imagine.
yeah.
But the next time you're traveling and you just in a private jet, you have to look down and see how many people you are influencing.
I want to see other communities pop up. People ask us all the time, do you help people create other Gobrunch? Yes, I help people create Gobrunch communities. I'm probably the biggest advocate for it. You want a Gobrunch community? Come join the Catalyst. We help build out your rooms. We help build all of that, because I think what an opportunity anytime we can build these connection points in the world, whether it be virtual or in person, we're building a better world. So thank you everybody for coming. coming. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again soon because I'll keep doing these, and I can't wait to see yours.